The internet has billions of websites. Some leave you with a lot of questions. They contain secret codes, strange countdowns, creepy recordings, and more. Today we'll explore the internet's most mysterious websites, starting from the least to the most disturbing. So my goal this year, guys, is to increase our uploads without sacrificing quality. And to do that, we got to keep growing. It would mean the world to me if you subscribed, and I promise to do my very best for you guys and make the best videos I possibly can. I'm Visual Venture, and you, my friend, are awesome. LakeCityQuietPills.com. LakeCityQuietPills.com sounds like a pharmacy website, but it wasn't selling medicine. In fact, people believe this website was a place where hitmen received instructions on who to target. The site belonged to a Reddit user known as Milo. Milo claimed he was a 79-year-old military vet. Most of his Reddit posts were about weapons, explosives, and combat. Then in May 2009, he made a post promoting his new website, LakeCityQuietPills.com. He described it as an image hosting site. At first, no one cared, but years later, someone finally looked closer. A Redditor clicked the link and noticed something strange. He warned others. Remember that old guy's image host? Go to the root of the site and view source. People did exactly that. When they checked the site's code, they discovered cryptic messages hidden between the lines of code. They looked like job postings. One read, immediate need, 8 to 10 Chinese or Korean, fluent Korean dialect or accent, details after contract. Another said 4 Italian or Spanish speakers. No Euro W/W, must be bondable. Reddit loves a mystery, so users started analyzing every line, trying to figure out what it meant. And the more they read, the darker it seemed. These didn't look like normal jobs. They looked like requests for assassins. It was a wild theory, but here's why people believed it. The site was called Lake City Quiet Pills. There's a real factory in Missouri called Lake City. It's an ammunition plant that manufactures bullets for the US military. Some people thought Quiet Pills was code for bullets, because a bullet is like a pill that makes someone quiet forever. They also interpreted the job listings. W/W in the messages likely meant wet work, and wet work could be slang for assassination. More people shared ideas on what the other abbreviations could mean. Piece by piece, the theory took shape. Redditors became convinced this was a secret job board for hitmen. It seemed like a stretch. Then something happened that made the theory feel more credible. On January 19th, 2010, a military leader was assassinated in Dubai. Around the same time, Redditors found a new message on the website. It read, "Happy New Year, everyone. We're having a birthday party for the old man on the 19th. Party starts at 1500 at the usual. Send your RSVP to Shade. FYI, we're booking a room for 3 days for anyone coming from out of area, and overnight for locals. Come hoist one for Dutch Milo." The date of this party matched the exact day of the hit. The same message also mentioned booking a hotel for 3 days. Interestingly, the military leader was unalived at a hotel. One report described it like this.
A group of assassins tracked the Hamas leader to his room, waited for him to leave to go shopping, snuck into his room and gained access somehow, and waited for the guy to come back, and lastly, took him out.
For Reddit's detectives, this was no coincidence. Weeks later, another message appeared on the site. It showed the final costs for the party that took place on January 19th. Hotel rooms, limo, bus, food, med supplies. They spent nearly $50,000 on hotel rooms for a birthday. For Reddit users, the number looked like a payment for something much darker. As more people investigated, the site began to change. The once readable messages on the site were scrambled into random numbers and letters. And by 2014, LakeCityQuietPills.com went offline completely. Was it really a hitman job board? Or was it just a prank? To this day, no one knows for sure. This next website tried to change how we understand the world. Timecube.com. Timecube.com was created to reveal a big secret to the world. The website belonged to a retired electrician named Gene Ray, and Ray believed he uncovered a cosmic secret. According to him, a single day wasn't really 24 hours. Each day was actually 4 separate days happening at once. It's confusing. I know. Ray stated his theory boldly on the site. He called it nature's harmonic simultaneous 4-day time cube. Ray even called himself the wisest man on earth. He was so confident that he offered $1,000 to anyone who can disprove 4 days in each Earth rotation. Later, he raised the price to $10,000. His website was packed with strange diagrams about 4-corner races and something he called cubic thinking. It looked like the ramblings of a delusional old man. But not everyone ignored him. In fact, students at MIT invited him to speak. In 2002, Ray showed up at MIT to present his theory of time. Hundreds showed up, but they weren't there to learn. They treated the lecture like a comedy show.
Throughout the event, the crowd of college students was rowdy and loud, cheering often in mock support of Ray.
However, Ray didn't realize they were mocking him. When asked about the experience later, he bragged.
About 500 students from MIT, Harvard, and many other universities around there, and they treat me like Einstein now.
Afterward, he even awarded himself a doctorate of cubism and started calling himself Dr. Gene Ray. Most people treated Ray as a joke, but to one man, Gene Ray was a genius. Around 2005, an 18-year-old student named Richard discovered timecube.com. He quickly became Gene Ray's most devoted supporter.
Hi, I'm Richard Yancharsky, second wisest human. However, it is Dr. Gene Ray, Cubic, who is the wisest human on Earth.
For 2 years, Richard defended Ray's theory of time. In fact, he idolized Ray. Then in 2007, Richard bought a plane ticket to Florida to meet his hero. He planned to film a documentary about Ray and his ideas. At first, everything went well. The 2 days they spent together, they talked about timecube.com. Then they had a misunderstanding. Ray got really mad at Richard. So mad that he publicly denounced him on Ray's website. For Richard, the rejection was devastating. After years of loyalty, his idol turned against him. Richard never really got over it. Watching their story, you realize how much time Richard and Ray spent on theories that made no sense. Richard could have spent those same hours learning about actual history instead of imaginary time cubes, which is exactly what this video game offers. War Thunder, the sponsor of this video, is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made. It's an MMO featuring over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships, from armored cars of the 1920s to modern fighter jets and tanks. The vehicles are very well detailed and the graphics are super realistic. Something that's really different about this game is its damage model. If your vehicle or enemy is destroyed, you see this X-ray view where you can see exactly where the shell penetrated and which components are affected, which is honestly something I have never seen before. War Thunder has 3 modes. You have Arcade, which is for fast-paced matches, Realistic mode, which is a bit more realistic. Then you have the mode that is the most authentic to real life, Simulator mode. My friends, join the community of over 95 million players for PvP battles today. And for you military history enthusiasts, this game is made for you. Play War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile now by using my link in the pinned comment or description. New and returning players that haven't played in 6 months get a massive bonus pack. That includes the Eagle of Valor, 100,000 silver lions, and 7 days of premium account only for a limited time. This next website was so mysterious that hackers tried to break into it. Mortis.com. Most websites want visitors. Mortis.com was the opposite. It wanted to keep people out. The homepage was plain, just a black screen with one word in white text, Mortis. Mortis means death in Latin. Why would anyone name their website Death? There was also a login box asking for a username and password, but how could anyone sign in if they didn't have an account? And there was no sign up button, no create account link, no way in at all. It was like a locked door with no keyhole. For years, the website just sat there. No updates, no changes, no sign of activity. Then in 2011, someone finally mentioned it on 4chan. Did anyone ever get into Mortis.com? That one question made the site go viral. 4chaners loved puzzles, and this one quickly became an obsession. First, hackers tried breaking into Mortis.com. They couldn't. Then they examined the website's source code. What they found was shocking.
Some of the individual files were as large as 39 gigabytes, and the total amount of data being hosted on the website was in the range of terabytes.
No one could figure out why a website with no public features was storing that much data. What was Mortis.com hiding? People tried everything to break in, even brute force applications. But the site was extremely hard to hack into, so they turned to domain records, searching for whoever registered the site. That's when they discovered a name.
A string of clues led some users to assume that the domain was registered under the name Thomas Ling on the 14th of November, 1997.
They began digging into Thomas Ling, hoping to find new ways to unlock the website. But no matter where they looked, the trail went nowhere.
More leads on the Thomas Ling name would lead to empty warehouses in remote regions across the globe.
The mystery seemed unsolvable. Then suddenly Thomas Ling himself showed up, and he was mad. Thomas found one of the chat rooms talking about Mortis.com, and he told everyone to leave him and his site alone.
He allegedly demanded that the users stop trying to hack his website, and when pushed for an explanation on Mortis.com, claimed that the website was only used to host his wedding photos online.
No one believed he was the real Thomas Ling. To prove he was really the man behind the site, Thomas briefly changed the homepage of Mortis.com. Then, just as quickly, he switched it back. That confirmed he was the owner, but it did nothing to explain the massive files or the mystery behind the site. Then, in January 2025, someone figured it out. A Reddit post titled "The Mystery of the Website Mortis.com is Solved" revealed what was really behind the login screen. Mortis.com was a private server for storing pirated movies and large files shared within a small group. The post even included screenshots showing downloads coming directly from the site. After 15 years of theories, the truth was disappointingly simple. Mortis.com wasn't a dark conspiracy. It was just a place where a guy shared movies with his friends. This next website can be summed up in 3 words: a huge disappointment. Zombo.com. Zombo.com's webpage was strange. It had a green background with spinning circles, but the weirdest part was the audio that played in the background.
You can do anything at Zombo.com, anything at all. The only limit is yourself.
It sounded inspiring, like something incredible was about to happen, but nothing ever did. The voice just repeated the same lines over and over. There were no links, no games, nothing to download. People thought the site was broken. One visitor said they waited for 5 minutes for something to happen, but the site never changed. Then someone noticed a newsletter sign-up link at the bottom of the page. Finally, something to interact with, but they were about to be disappointed. Clicking the link led to a new page with a single line of text. "Sorry, this is not working right now. Thanks for your patience." Users realized the site wasn't broken. It was built this way on purpose. So the question became, who created Zombo.com and why? In 2009, people online started digging into the site's history. The first clue came from the site's records.
When looking at the Whois record for Zombo.com, we can see someone by the name of Joshua Levine as the domain register.
Now they had a name, Joshua Levine. The record even listed an address. But when people looked it up, it led to an empty bench in a little piece of grass in the middle of some tiny little town. The phone number listed under the address was no better. Every call ended with the line disconnected. The only meaningful clue came from an email Joshua Levine sent in 2001. In it, he explained that a friend of his used the word Zombo to refer to a male zombie, so he used it as the name of the site, but that still didn't explain the point of Zombo.com. Over the years, theories piled up. One person said, "I think Zombo.com paraphrases the internet, promises you the earth but delivers a bit of animation." Another called the site useless because it doesn't do anything except tell you how wonderful it is. Zombo.com is still online today. The circles still spin. The voice still promises you limitless possibilities. It's just a wonderful place where nothing ever happens. If you love conspiracy theories, you'll love this next website. Sentimentalcorp.org. In 2012, a man named Randy Prozac launched a website called sentimentalcorp.org. The homepage showed a couple sitting on a couch watching TV. On the screen, the word nothing glowed faintly, but the site was anything but nothing. According to Randy, the videos on his site contained sounds that could control minds. To understand why he believed that, you first have to know who Randy was. Before Sentimental Corp, Randy worked with mental health patients in Alberta, Canada. These were people with serious psychological issues. His goal was to find a new way to treat them. That's when he began testing a form of therapy called psychodrama. 3 times a week, Randy invited patients into his home. Behind closed doors, they acted out their deepest fears and darkest impulses like actors on a stage. Randy filmed every session. Soon he had hundreds of hours of disturbing footage. But the sessions got more intense than anyone expected. Sometimes it ended in tears. Sometimes it ended in anger. A few times it ended in violence. Eventually, the program collapsed. Authorities ordered all of Randy's tapes destroyed, but Randy reportedly smuggled out the recordings before they could be burned. Those tapes became the foundation of sentimentalcorp.org. By July 2012, Randy launched his website and began uploading footage from the psychodrama sessions. He added a chilling disclaimer.
By playing this psychological audio cassette, you'll be exposed to mind control technology that may cause permanent destruction of cognitive personality.
But instead of scaring people off, the warning only drew in more. There were videos with hypnotic sounds and flashing imagery. Visitors described the content as haunting and addictive. Some said they felt dizzy after watching. Even Randy himself admitted that you would have to be a sort of a magician to navigate the site. Over time, thousands of people stumbled across Sentimental Corp. Online forums filled with theories about the tapes, their purpose, and Randy's claims of mind control. The site still exists today, but many of the psychodrama clips have vanished. No one knows whether Randy removed them himself or something else happened. This next website was One Big Countdown. October 28, 2011.com. October 28, 2011.com first appeared in July 2011. The homepage had a heading that read, "Deja vu in your dreams." Beneath it was an illustration of a cat. But what really grabbed people's attention was a giant countdown timer. It was set to end on October 28, 2011. No one knew what would happen when the timer hit 0 in October 2011, but they were determined to figure it out. The theories started pouring in, especially on Reddit. Some believed the date marked the end of the world. Others tied it to a religious prophecy. Some felt it was part of a marketing stunt. The theories vary, but everyone agreed something big was coming on October 28th, 2011. But there was something else on the website. Near the bottom of the homepage was a phone number. It wasn't clear whether this number was there from the start or if it was added later. Beside it was a cryptic line, "Speak to open when it's time." Naturally, people started calling. What they reported back was disturbing. One caller described his experience. Someone answered within 5 rings. No hello, nothing. Just some movement and then a loud beep, and then the person hung up. Another reported hearing something being dragged across the floor, followed by a loud beep. When they called again, someone picked up and whispered, "It's him again." Almost everyone who tried the number described something unsettling. As October 28th, 2011 drew closer, anticipation was building. The countdown was almost at 0, and the people couldn't wait to see what would happen. The day finally arrived, and something did happen.
But when October 28th, 2011 finally came and the countdown hit 0, the site completely vanished, leaving people to this day in utter confusion.
The website went offline, just like that. Even after the site disappeared, people kept trying to decode the mystery.
The website went offline many years ago, and thus people have been left in the dark about whether or not this actually had any real purpose.
Years later, a blogger wrote an article titled, "I think I solved the mystery behind October 28th, 2011.com. The explanation was underwhelming. He claimed the website was just made to freak people out, and the calls were clearly recordings meant to mess with people's heads. Today, typing in October 28th, 2011.com just redirects you to random ads. Up next is another website that made 0 sense. enrix.angelfire.com. enrix.angelfire.com described a disease called NRIX. It said NRIX is a disease that can be devastating to an individual and their family members. The site also mentioned another term, GOMEX. GOMEX is a medical term that's often used by patients suffering from NRIX. But when people Googled these diseases, nothing came up.
NRIX and GOMEX don't seem to exist. I tried Google searching for these diseases, and I can't find anything about them.
This meant someone built an entire medical website about illnesses that didn't exist. But the fake diseases weren't the strangest part. The real mystery was the woman's picture. On the homepage was a photo of a smiling woman dressed like a doctor. Clicking on her face did something strange.
If you click on the picture of the woman, then the face will become slightly distorted. Continue clicking, and it will continue to become even more distorted as all the text on the screen becomes malformed.
With every click, the photo warped further. It looked like the site was falling apart in real time. By the 5th click, a creepy smiley face appeared along with the message. "Please wake up and thank you for visiting our website." It felt less like a glitch and more like a warning to stop exploring. But that was just the beginning. When people checked out the other pages, they found weird stuff. One page had a large blue key. Clicking it only sent you back to the homepage. There was also a link to a PDF file buried in the code.
It's a 634-page PDF document, all written in Thai with cartoon characters at some points. Apparently this PDF file is about a mental health hotline clinic that doesn't actually exist.
Then came the strangest clue, a hidden message that read, "The dream is ending, Tyler." Who's Tyler? And why was his name buried in scrambled text? Visitors also found this video hidden on the site. When they pressed play, they saw a woman glitching while reciting numbers. The deeper people dug, the less sense it made. In 2018, 2018, a Twitter user named Fubans admitted he created the site. According to him, the entire thing was a prank. He made the site to troll and creep out his friend as an inside joke. Every part of the site, including the fake diseases, glitching images, and Tyler messages, was a massive troll. Today, the original site is gone, but mirrors of it still exist, keeping the strange prank alive. This next mysterious website spelled its own name backward. 973 at namu973.com. You've probably seen strange website names before, but this website name is on another level. The name itself is a puzzle. When read backwards, it spells the human, and that's where the mystery begins. The homepage greets visitors with the words "amaze in abracadabra." The other pages on the site don't make things clearer. There are pages with strange symbols. Another page displays religious passages mixed with numbers and calculations. Keep clicking and you'll stumble upon disturbing artwork like this. The site reportedly contains more than 9,000 pages, but no one could explain why it even existed. So the internet began to investigate, and soon they found out who made this website. This website was created by a man named David Dennison. David used to be famous.
In the 1970s, Dennison was one of the most popular surrealist painters in the United Kingdom.
After his art career, David became obsessed with numbers and religion. This obsession, people said, completely took over his being. He spent his days working through calculations based on strange words and text. Many were taken from the Bible and ancient philosophers. He was even obsessed with the number 9 and spelling words backwards. In 2003, David launched his ultimate creation, 973 at namu973.com. For years, he kept adding new pages to the website. More puzzles, more religious texts, more confusing math. In 2013, David Dennison passed away, but the website stayed alive. Before he passed, David handed control of the site to someone else. No one knows who. Under this mystery caretaker, the site grew even faster. Thousands of new pages appeared. Soon, a small but obsessive community formed around the site. There was even an online chat room where people tried to decode the meaning behind the weird pictures, codes, and calculations on the site. Then one day, someone figured it out. On August 3rd, 2018, a user named White Rabbit posted in the chat room. The post was titled, "I finally solved it." He said he spent at least 5 years studying the website, and that it took him a lot of hours to guide himself through the maze. But after all the work, White Rabbit claimed he finally understood the puzzles on the site, but he wouldn't reveal the answer. Why? He said what he discovered was dangerous, and that decoding it had strange side effects on his mind. Other users begged him to explain. He never responded. 7 years later, someone else in the chat room named Sherlock announced his own breakthrough. "I finally understand it. The answer is not what I expected." But like White Rabbit, Sherlock refused to share his solution. He insisted that everyone must find it on their own, but he didn't give him a clue. The answer isn't written directly on the website itself, but rather written through letters, numbers, and representations. From there, people got more obsessed with the site. One visitor described the site this way: "It's like a drug. Once you solve one part, your brain tells you to keep going." Some people I've been chatting with have lost touch with reality. Not me though. "I stopped where I was supposed to stop. I warn you, decode at your own risk." Another wrote the site is evil. Some even claim the site caused hallucinations. Today, the website is still online. It has thousands of pages, and people are still going crazy trying to decode it. These sites aren't just about hidden secrets. They show something about human nature. We crave answers. We want meaning. But some rabbit holes go too deep. My friends, not every mystery needs solving. And the healthiest move is knowing when to stop. Visual Venture. Make sure you guys check out today's sponsor, War Thunder. Play it for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile now by using my link below. New and returning players that haven't played in 6 months will get a massive bonus pack. If you guys like this video, we've covered plenty more strange websites, and some of them are really disturbing. To watch my video on this series, the most unsettling websites on the internet, click right here. Love you guys. Peace.